Good afternoon and thanks for joining us right here on Midday Kentucky. I got my best girlfriend in here.
Hi.
How are you, Larkin?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic.
Good.
I put a post on Facebook last night that I was feeling a little under the weather. I think it was from the altitude change from cool back to the warm of
It probably was.
Yeah, and I'm
it's
feeling
so
a little
humid.
Congested.
Yeah, well, you know what? Robbie is very concerned because the first thing he said this morning, I was getting ready, milling around. He goes, "Is Troy doing the show? I saw where he's sick." And I said,
Well, he
"I
didn't comment
think
on
so."
what remedy I should be having.
I guess not.
I did get lots of comments, so thank you out there for giving me your home remedies. I did do one of them, which did feel a little bit better.
Which one did you do?
I made a hot toddy.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've heard that
Took
that does
myself down to
help.
Liquorland looking a fright.
Oh, very.
Oh, not
okay,
Liquorland.
yeah.
You call it Liquor Barn.
Liquor Barn.
We
yeah,
call it
it's Kentucky.
Liquorland in
Liquor
Australia.
Barn in
Exactly.
Kentucky, of course.
I was thinking the other day, I had some friends that I caught up with in Utah, and one of them is adopted, and we were talking. I asked you today, where's Braylon? And you said, well, he's not coming in today. And I said, but I want to adopt him. I adore this kid, and he's your stepson.
He is.
And I asked you the other week as well, when do you want to have children? And you said that you'd love to have one, but you'd also like to adopt one because you're adopted.
I am. I'm adopted. My situation's a little unique. I was adopted my parents brought me home at two months old. So when my birth mother had me, she knew 100% that I was going to be adopted, but she changed her plan. She had originally placed me with this family in Louisville that was not an interracial couple, and she, at the last minute, decided she wanted me to feel comfortable not...
Was an
They were not.
Okay.
They were not. So right before she gave birth to me, she handpicked my parents, who are interracial, and they brought me home 2 months later. So it's always been on my heart to adopt. It will always be on my heart to adopt.
When I watch all these reality shows, I'm a reality freak, everyone, and you see these adopted kids eventually wanting to meet their birth parents.
Yeah.
Have you? And if you haven't, is that something that you would consider doing? Is it something that...
So that is, it's never really been, everybody's different, right? And everybody's journey's different, whether you're adopted or not, it's just life. But I personally have never really had a huge desire. Like some people, they always want to meet their birth parents. Like from the moment that they find out or a certain age, they know that that's what they want to do. I've never really wanted to do that. Now, I will say, I've always said, I put these milestone markers, like when I graduate high school, I'm going to write my birth mother a letter, just thanking her for her selfless act and the family that she handpicked for me and how they have really helped.
She picked your now parents.
Yes, and my mom struggled with pregnancies and adoptions before, so we're like every bit of a miracle to her, and for the right reason. So I wanted to thank her for that, but then I graduated high school and I'm like, well, let me wait. And then I graduated college. Well, let me wait. But it's just a can of worms that you just don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you to her and express my gratitude and walk away. But you never know. I might have a connection with her. I might have siblings, and that unknown is what kind of keeps me from
I'd love to find out if I've got extra siblings.
I'd like to know what my birth parents look like, because I act so much like my mom and I act so much like my dad in different ways now that I'm wondering, like, do we have the same personalities, or did nature versus nurture here?
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
So when you're saying that you would like to adopt a child, is that because you're adopted and you know what it was like as a feeling to grow up being adopted, or what's your thought pattern behind all of that?
Both. So it's both me wanting to, because I know it's a very unique environment. If you are adopted or you're someone who has adopted, you know what that love is and you know that feeling. But for somebody from the outside looking in, you're not in the situation, so you just don't know that love. I know what that love is. So I know I have more than enough to give. And then I know there's so many children. I was reading an article on the state website about adoption, and there were over, I think, 7,400 children right now looking for a home. And I think last year they adopted
7,400?
7,400
in Kentucky.
In Kentucky. That's just state. That's just by the state. And don't quote me specifically on that, but it was around that number. And 750 of them in a year get adopted. So there are so many children right here in this state that need a home. You know, UK just...
So, well, hold on. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
If there's, and let's just, we're not sure if there's 7,400.
Right.
And you're saying 700 are adopted. What's happening with the other kids? They're in foster home?
They stay in foster care system, and they just cycle through the system. And there's nothing wrong with foster care, but as a child, you need that stability. You need that every day. You need someone to be there to love you unconditionally. And there are so many kids.
Let's get some people in and talk about
we
that.
should.
Do you
I'd
want
love to.
Yeah.
I absolutely
Dusty,
love to.
wheel on over here, Dale, wherever you are, and let's organise that. You all know Dusty broke a foot over it last time. Can you believe she's in that? No, we were together when she broke her foot.
We were there when it happened, yes, and you laughed.
But now I make memes of her on Instagram every day. People, she's become an Instagram star.
She's Insta-famous
They
now.
love her.
Dusty's going to be on that cart forever.
People have written in saying, I need my daily dose of Dusty.
Yes.
And she has done some funny things.
Yes,
I know, I feel a bit bad
her.
about it, but it is what it is. I didn't trip her over.
Well, I would say she is making the best of a really
You just made
bad
out
situation.
that I purposely tripped her over.
No, it wasn't you. You might have chuckled a little bit at the end, just a hair.
Come on, everyone falls and laughs at someone
I know.
when they fall over.
There was a point where I would just crack up and get on YouTube and look up people running into glass
They're
doors.
the funniest movie. They're the funniest clips on YouTube, I'm telling you. All right, let's get on with the show.
Okay.
A breastfeeding mother was left humiliated after she was told to cover up while nursing her daughter in a dentist waiting room. Now, she claims staff told her that to place a blanket over her daughter's head or move into another room because she was making teenage boys feel uncomfortable. Let's take a listen.
Okay.
Did he say something about me breastfeeding the baby? Did they say something about me breastfeeding the baby?
No,
Okay.
no, it's, this is Dr. Patrick's office, and her policy is we try to be the best, we try to make it the most pleasant experience for everyone.
I don't see, I don't see
Okay.
nothing wrong with breastfeeding the baby here. Honestly, I don't see nothing wrong. I'm not just putting my boob in the air where everybody can see it. I'm just breastfeeding my baby.
Okay, here's the thing about that. I don't know, how do you, when you hear what she's saying, it reads a lot worse, okay? But does the office have is the office right when they're saying there's teenage boys in the waiting room and that the mother shouldn't be breastfeeding openly without a blanket covered over her?
From a legal perspective, I don't think so. I don't think that they can tell her to. But as a stepmother to a soon-to-be teenager, I think if we were sitting in the waiting room, I would just feel a little more comfortable if she were covered, just because as a parent, it just brings up a lot of different topics that you've got to talk about, and the kids stare, and it's just...
I agree, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because I have to say that I felt at the time I was reading it, I thought, I just wonder if this is something that it's just in my head. I used to have women who used to come into the salons and who would breastfeed, but they always covered themselves.
Right.
And I think I don't have an issue with you feeding in public.
I don't either. Not at all. But
Not
if
at
it
all.
were me, I don't even want people looking at me. I'd be like, just let me do my thing. I'm just trying to feed my baby. I'm a walking cafeteria over here. Let me be, okay? I just don't want people staring at me. Personally, I think people should cover. It just keeps everyone
I think so.
happy,
Tell us what you think. Head over to Midday Kentucky's Facebook page. Also, send us some notes on whether you're adopted, and we'd love to have it hear from you, and maybe we can do it a little panel.
I would love
about
that.
adoption and how the process works and
Yes.
the ins and outs of it. Tell us what you think on Midday Kentucky. What were you going to say?
Everybody's experience is so different. I'd love to sit down and get to pick people's brains.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I like it.
Alrighty, I have another one for you.
Okay.
Marriage is a long-term kind of game, right?
Ain't that
Couples that last haven't made it out of luck. They're willing to try new things to keep their relationship fresh. And if you're looking for some inspiration, I've pulled a few things for you and Ravi.
I might need
okay?
this. Okay.
Because I want you to be around. Okay, so let's bring up the full list for us as well. Do you cook together?
We sort of cook together. I typically start the cooking. He comes in the middle. I think it's just because he feels bad. And
Right.
and then he does cleanup. So that's kind of our process.
Okay, got
Yes.
you. Now, the next one that we had up there, send flirty messages. Now, we had our sexologist on here.
When Robbie was
When
here.
Robbie was
yes.
here, and he sort of liked that.
Well, he ain't sending any flirty texts. It's been a long time. Robbie, if you're watching.
Well, maybe
send a flirty
he's
text.
expecting that from you.
It's probably right.
Oh, okay.
That's probably about
And
right.
the next one along is hibernate for a day. Now, what that was, I hibernate for a whole weekend.
Yes.
And I'm single.
Same.
Do you know what I mean? Do you
Maybe
hibernate
that's why.
together?
It's just a day. We did on Saturday. We didn't get out of bed till 1 o'clock on Saturday. It was
Oh.
the first time since May.
What did my
that we
child do?
He was with his mom.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so we had no child.
So you weren't neglecting?
We weren't neglecting.
You know, I'd be really happy to take care of him if you wanted a day off.
He would be happy to stay with
we'd
you.
go to,
He'd
we'd go
love
somewhere.
that.
Like
Well,
somewhere fun.
I'm gonna
I
call
wanna
you.
go- I want to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
There you go.
I've never been.
There you go.
Okay, let's bring up the next list as well. Say thank you, that's normal. Disconnect from technology. Totally agree.
Yes, I'm bad about
Disconnect
that.
both of you. Be the best friend. See, look, you know what sort of gives me the creeps?
What's that?
I want to say this. I find it funny
Mm-hmm.
that husbands and wives say, I married my best friend.
Yeah.
And is that,
No,
do you think Ravi's your best friend?
I do.
Oh.
And I will say he is good about sending a text. He at least once or twice a week he'll send a text or he'll say it. You're my best good friend. That's what he always
Okay.
says. But it's true. And I mean,
But should you not
Mary-
have your husband is your husband and you love each other and you're in love?
Yes.
But then should you not have a best friend
We can have
outside?
more.
You can?
you have more than one best friend.
I've only got
yes.
one
You
best
have
friend.
best friends that you go to different things for.
Yeah.
So I go to Robbie for 99%, but the Robbie things I have another friend that I go for.
I got
go
you.
to for. So I mean he really is my best friend. He
Okay,
is.
what else have we got up here, my
Okay,
friends?
what else?
Go on a double date. Oh, okay.
Okay, we did that
Well,
Friday,
enough.
check.
Get away together. Yeah, I do. You were always
Yes.
getting away.
Yes.
Work out together. I don't think that's a good idea, people.
He
But-
annoys me when we're at the gym.
See?
Like he stands there and critiques me, and I'm like, "Can you just
Yeah,
go away?"
That's not going to happen,
We're not
people.
good gym
Yeah,
rats
that's.
together.
I think what was the last one up there that we saw? And I did see celebrate the little things. I think that's cool.
Yes.
I would like to be able to go home some days, and this is the truth,
Mm-hmm.
and just be able to say, you know, I've had a really crappy day, everyone.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah. And have somebody.
And then
to-
have someone just go, it's okay, I'll cook your dinner. I'm
That's nice.
normally calling the delivery people and they go, how are you, Troy? How was your day? That's my person. Or Kroger, or some restaurant that I call.
Oh, you can call me. You can call me.
Sure.
I'm not a partner.
Hey everyone, we're going to go to break. We appreciate it. We'll be right back after this short break. It is going to be a great day here on Midday Kentucky. See you in a minute.